Hi everyone. A viewer of mine sent me this event to take a look at in terms of codes, and again, it's a mall event. There have been several mall events, and there was a brawl that happened involving hundreds of teenagers from the ages of 12 to 17. I'll play a little bit of the news story.
It's now in a large fight that broke out inside a Metro Atlanta mall. Douglasville police say they have made 20 arrests in the brawl at Arbor Place Mall back on September 3rd. Now, in the last 2 hours, Douglasville police and other local officials gathered for a news conference to update us on this investigation. And right now, Channel 2's Brian Mims was there, and it's live now at the Douglasville Police Department. Brian, nearly all the arrests were juveniles.
Get this, 19 of those charged are between the ages of 12 and 17. 12 and 17. One adult, a 19-year-old, has also been charged. The Douglasville police chief made that announcement while speaking passionately about fighting gang and youth violence. Chief Gary Sparks joined.
Sparks means to shine. To shine as if giving off sparks. Emit sparks. Sparkling. Brawl is to cry out, scold, quarrel, to boast, to bray, a harsh cry, especially that of an ass or a donkey, to utter a loud, harsh cry, to cry out, to shriek, to cackle.
The Douglas County Sheriff, the Douglasville Mayor, and the District Attorney in briefing the public on the investigation. All of them spoke angrily about the violence that broke out at Arbor Place Mall on September 3rd. Now, this is video from social media of that fight where you see teens and young adults fighting, screaming, running around. Chief Sparks says about 200 people were involved in the chaos, which forced the mall to close early. He says the violence began as a TikTok challenge that spiraled out of control, and many of those swept up in the melee, he says, were members of gangs. The chief warned that police are still very much full on in their investigation of this fight.
As we make more identification, we're gonna make more arrests. So you can run, but you can't hide, because we're gonna come find you if you commit any crime, not only at the ball, at the school, in our parks, anywhere in the city of Douglasville or in Douglas County.
So this seems to be a bit of a recurring theme in this event. If you've done something wrong, we're going to find you. The name Douglas means black river or dark stream. Murky waters might make you think of dangerous depths. They can also represent mystery and hidden secrets. This is about the truth coming to light. Here he says just that.
You may have a good little run for a minute, but eventually what you do in the dark, it will come to light.
Is vowing to catch everyone involved in a mall brawl that took place earlier this month. So far, at least 20 kids have been arrested. Chief Gary Sparks says multiple fights broke out at Arbor Place Mall between kids ranging in age 12 to 17. You see this video posted on social media of all that fighting happening at the mall. Police say those arrested face multiple charges, including disorderly conduct and simple battery. The chief says some of those suspects will even face charges under Georgia's Street Gang and Terrorism Act. Investigators believe this incident may have started with a TikTok challenge.
Police say 4 fights in all broke out at the mall and the Regal Place Theater that night.
I thought it was a prank, or I thought it was a flash mob.
Today, Douglasville police announced they've arrested 20 kids, and they're working to identify more from the social media videos. Police believe the kids were play fighting while making TikTok videos, and it escalated into real fights as they tried to draw more people to those videos. Bruce says for now, it doesn't feel safe to return to the mall.
That just settled in our mind. We're not going back to that mall again.
The mayor tells me that.
So this too has been a recurring theme in these types of events. They've had events that have happened in malls and then had people say, I don't feel safe in the mall. So I'm sure that part of this has to do with an agenda to get people to not go to malls anymore.
They've increased security and added more security cameras at the mall as well. In Douglasville, Tracy A. McPeer.
11 twin pillars alive. Alive means you're dead. A is the negation.
Today, Douglasville police say they arrested nearly 20 kids, the youngest just 12 years old. Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo is live from the mall tonight. Rob, police are telling you that these arrests are just the tip of the iceberg.
That's right, Christine. They say they expect many more arrests to come in the coming weeks. They say since the night of that massive fight, investigators have been busy combing through footage of it posted to social media. Hundreds of fists flew inside Arbor Place Mall after the massive brawl broke out. Douglasville police have resolved to identify every single person involved.
Our special operation unit, they spent countless hours just sitting down in their offices going through all the video and preserving the video.
So far, police have made 20 arrests related to the September 3rd incident.
This is the entrance to Arbor Place. Arbor means tree, and they have a logo with a tree on it. Tree is the center of the torus. It means to rise. It means to grow. It's about the center of the torus, which is the vortex. So Arbor is a herb garden, pleasure garden, field, meadow, kitchen. Garden is an enclosed space. An enclosed space is where we live, is also your mind. Arbor is a tree, and it means to grow. Height, uprightedness. Ortho, form, straight, upright, rectangular, true, correct, proper, high. Upright means to also be straight, to play by the rules, to do as you're told, which was the recurring theme in this entire event. So upright, erect, face upward. Figurative sense of good, honest, adhering to rectitude. Rectitude, straightness, quality of being straight or erect. Straightness, uprightness. Reg, move in a straight line. So reg is connected to king. Regal. Regal cinema, king, pertaining to king. Royal, kingly, belonging to a king. Worthy of a king, move in a straight line. So they want these children, these unruly children, unruly, to rule is to be in a straight line, as a ruler. The ruler of the world was the queen, who died on the 8th of September, and the new ruler is the king, King Charles. Charles is the free man. So this is all relating to that as well. Here you have the IXXI for the fabric of this reality. This is light bouncing off the mirrors. This is the hall of mirrors that we live in. So this is a mall. The mall represents the garden that we live in, the enclosed place, the enclosed space. So this is a reference to Earth.
Ages 12 to 7.
Here you can see that this is the representation of Earth as well. You have the enclosed space with the IXXI on the outside, the 4 pillars of the foundation of this Earth, the 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire. Also the dome on the top, and then here's the tree at the top, which is representing the core of the torus field. So we live in Arbor Place.
The 17-year-old.
It's happened outside Regal Cinemas. Now, this happened on September 3rd, which is 3 sevens, 777, 1776. That's heaven on earth. Regal Cinemas, regal is royal, is crowned, is kinged, corona. So when you become crowned, you are anointed. You join heaven and earth, heart and mind. Regal has to do with royal, and so it happened on September 3rd, and on September 8th the queen died, and this event has been going on since then. Notice as well the twin pillars on either side. Cinemas, we live in a movie. The checkerboard floor, the arches.
The charges include disorderly conduct, affray, and simple battery. Some face far more serious charges.
9 of these persons arrested have been charged with the violation of the Georgia Street Game and Terrorist Act.
What cops believe started as a staged fight for TikTok quickly turned into a very real and dangerous situation.
Discipline starts at home. The system is not here to raise your children. We're not here to babysit.
Investigators say thousands were at the mall for $3 movie night at Regal Cinemas. Far more people showed up than mall management expected.
The mall is open and we...
So this looks like the mind maze that I pointed out was in Westworld. It's a very strange kind of floor design to have inside of a mall. And from the center of the maze is an escalator with mirrors on either side. To me, this suggests that it has to do with the mirrors or the mirrors of the mind maze, and the escalators are the way out. The Arbor in the middle of the Taurus. Also on the other side, it says Forever 21. 21 is 3 sevens.
We are welcoming you to Douglasville, but not if you do not follow the rules.
We're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. And we're going to keep on until we get everyone that was involved in this incident.
See his hands in the diamond sign? For those of you who don't know, the diamond symbol is the symbol for the IXXI. That's a symbol to say that he is working for the system. So all of this is a staged fakery. So it's kind of interesting that this is still going on and this happened a month ago. They're still milking it. It's not even really a massive news story, but for it to be in the news this much for over a month, they're definitely making it into something.
Chief Sparks says investigators are scouring the video from social media and doing many interviews. He and other local officials pleaded with parents to be involved in their children's lives and not allow them to get caught up in violence like this.
So this was another theme that was carried through this event. They want parents to be more involved in their children's lives, to basically spy on their children, know exactly what they're doing at all times. And one mother actually said, you cannot be involved enough.
Douglasville Police Department actively engages in fighting the gang mentality. And that's what we got to fight against. The mentality of the gang mentality. Our Special Operations Unit has made several arrests. But we stay on the battlefield to make sure our young men and women do not become a part of this criminal addicted thinking of being involved in gangs. We see it all over the nation. We see it all over the state. And we got to make sure that we eradicate this mentality from our people. Because the jails are getting filled with them. People are getting killed.
I mean, he sounds very passionate, but his language is very fight-oriented. We got to fight this. We got to on the battlefield. We got to eradicate this. I mean, this is a totally wrong approach. Much of these sorts of events are staged fakery. However, there are a lot of real gangs and real violence and real juveniles getting involved in troublemaking that can lead to some major injuries, deaths, accidents, things they don't even intend to do. And the problem stems from a whole lot of like systemic issues, parental issues, insecurities, lack of power. Children need nurturing, they need love, they need encouragement. They need to know that they're supported. They need to know that they have someone they can trust in and rely on and go to for questions and concerns and fears. I mean, there's a gang mentality is bred in media and culture and music. There's this sort of automatic feeling of power and control that comes from being involved in violence and gangs that weak people get from being involved in that, which they cannot get elsewhere because they feel disempowered. They feel they don't have any control over their lives. They feel disempowered at home. Their parents either aren't there, they're absent, they're working all the time, they don't get love, maybe they get abused at home, their parents argue, they fight, their parents are divorced or separated, or their parents, they don't love each other. Maybe they come from a single parent family and the single parent is having a hard time, so they have hatred towards the father who's absent or has never been in their lives. There's this lack of communication. All of these issues breed this sort of mentality, and it is a huge problem. But you don't solve it by more violence. You don't solve it by waging war on children. These are children he's talking about. They're children, and he's talking about waging war on children. This language of being on the battlefield. These children need nurturing. These children need their parents. These children don't need to be spied on. They need to have open communication. These children need to be loved. These children need their teachers to nurture them. They need their authority figures to nurture them, not wage war on them. I mean, obviously, we live in a backwards world. We live in inversion land, and that's why this language is even tolerated. But if anything is going to change, we have to change our approach. We have to change our language. We have to change how we deal with this sort of stuff. You cannot win this situation with more fighting, and it might be difficult because these children have lacked love for so long that they don't recognize it when they get it. They don't tolerate it when they get it. So you have to push through that barrier. You have to retrain them to understand what love is. You have to retrain them to recognize what love is. This is not love. Waging war on children does not solve the problem. That's my little soapbox rant for the day. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.